Hey guys, I'm back for another video. Today I want to talk about food and fluids and the end of life. So when a resident is palliative, it's different than when a resident is not. Oftentimes in the nursing home you will hear if they only would eat or drink that, they would feel better. And that's not necessarily the case for somebody who's palliative. Please don't think that providing fluids and food is going to prolong somebody's life. When they're palliative, this is not the case. When they live and when they die is dictated by the disease. It could increase their vomiting, diarrhea. It could cause more fluids to develop in their tissues, causing bed sores. Their lungs could fill with fluid. You don't want to give a person water when they're dying. When you give them water, that rehydrates them. You want them to be dehydrated because that's giving the body endorphins, so when you do pass away, you're not in pain. If they're wanting water, give them a mouth swab or a cloth, cotton pads, and just wet their lips, moisten their lips, keep moistening their lips. You don't have to give them water, especially if they're palliative. If they want water though, if they so desperately want water, you can give them water. I had a client once who we were told to not give him so much water. The thing he wanted was water. Eventually it was agreed upon in the plan of care that he could be offered water. So his last couple weeks, he was offered cups and cups and cups of water. And towards the end, he finally just stopped drinking so much. He didn't want as much. And that kind of showed me that, yeah, you don't need water in the end. Towards the end, the body's not going to be using all of its energy to digest food, so it's not going to be digesting the same as it once was. And sometimes the taste of food will even change for them, so they're not going to enjoy food as much as they once did either. They're going to have altered states of smell, of taste, and texture. It's kind of like giving your car fuel. It doesn't matter how much fuel you're going to give this car, it just can't process any fuel at all. And it's not gonna run. And that's where the risk is if you're giving them food too close to the end, just like with fluids, it could increase their vomiting, their nausea, their diarrhea. It could make things worse. They could aspirate and choke. It's normal for their appetite to decrease. You don't need to keep telling them to try to eat. Their body can't even digest all that food at once. It's too much for them. Anytime you're gonna offer food or fluids, look at the plan of care and understand what is going on. It does depend on the wishes of that person, the stage of the disease they are in, and the goal that they want to be achieved. Some religious practices will wish to give the person a drink of water towards the end. This is up to the person themselves. As I've been saying this whole time, each person's gonna be different. Like my client, if you wanted water, you're gonna get water. We're not gonna refuse to give something to you that you really, really want. So sometimes the weight loss could be other things as well. It could be poor oral health, missing teeth, or teeth that are in pain can cause the resident to not want to eat. They can lose a lot of weight. If their dentures just aren't fitting properly and they can't chew and they think they're gonna choke on other food, they just might not feel comfortable eating. Dry mouth can make it harder, and a lot of elderly have dry mouth. And of course, difficulty swallowing in general. So it's at that point, offering them food like feeding tubes or IVs for fluids is not gonna help. It actually is gonna burden them more by having those. There's the risk of septicemia, electrolyte disturbances, frequent blood draws, and the need for hospitalization. So it's best to just recommend your clients to eat small meals throughout the day, eat what they can handle and what they like, and eating smaller meals more often will help you avoid your nausea. Sometimes they will be put on appetite stimulants to help them eat more, but you gotta explain that's not gonna stop the disease from progressing, and it will slowly get worse. There's a lot of other ways to show a resident love instead of just food. I know a lot of residents have their family bring in Tim Hortons in the morning, or they bring in their favorite donut or bagel, or their favorite dinner from a restaurant. And when residents start losing their appetite and they're not able to eat as much, they feel bad that they can't eat what their family's giving them, and they don't know how to voice that sometimes. So it's good for the PSW or the nursing staff to notice. And you can help direct the family with other ways to show love. Like you can write cards or have the grandkids do crafts and bring that in. It doesn't always have to be food. That's all I got for you guys in that video. And I will see you guys for another video. Goodbye.